What's up guys, it's Trevor with Embers Fireplaces and Outdoor Living. Today, we are gonna tell you what our favorite gas linear fireplace is, because today we're doing the top 5 linear gas fireplaces. Dang it, I knew that was stupid. I knew that wasn't gonna be cool the second I did it, but here we go, top 5 linear gas fireplaces, let's go. Okay, really quick, we have a quick honorable mention. This guy did not make our top 5, and the reason it didn't is it's a budget model or a price point model. This is the Montego Del Rey, but we wanted to quick feature it, that way you know about it. If you're on a really tight budget, or if you're a contractor and you need to buy multiple units, look at the Del Rey. This is the 48-inch, also comes in a 36-inch. What's cool about it is you can get them stripped down or loaded up, and they're an awesome, awesome price point. But unfortunately, it wasn't nice enough to quite make the top 5. We'll give you a couple close-ups. I think it's a great product for the money, but just slipped out of the top 5 because it is a price point model. All right, so number 5 on the list. Now, we polled the entire staff. They're all over the place. A couple of them made the top 5 based on the staff. So this is my top 5. This is Trevor's top 5. Now again, don't hold me to everything. Don't say, oh, you rank this number 1 or you rank this number 3. Think about in the context of what's appropriate for you. What are your install needs? What are your cosmetic needs? And apply that to yourself. So this is just a generic overview of our top 5. So coming in at number 5 is gonna be the Regency Ultimate Gas Fireplace, the U1500. So this is the U1500. This is the bigger of the two sizes. There is a U900, which is one size smaller. So essentially we have a 40-inch and a 50-inch model. Now, the concept behind this fireplace is Regency did something really cool where they sort of made almost like a hybrid type unit, where they combined a very traditional style log set in a linear firebox. So you can see, I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but we have a lot of infrared sort of red burn in there. And you're not typically gonna see that on a linear fireplace. You're gonna see more of the standard 2-burner style. But this almost has like a whole bed of fire, so to speak. So it gives us that really natural wood burning look in a linear fireplace. So that's part of the reason it made our top 5, if it's so unique in what it accomplishes. And I think it does a pretty good job. It looks attractive. That driftwood log set is nice and beefy. And there's a lot to like about it. I can tell you too, it is a good heater. So what's really cool about the Ultimate fireplace is it comes absolutely loaded up. So you're gonna get remote control, blower is standard. I can feel the blower on here. This is the ProFlame 2 system. You'll see this in a lot of our top 5 videos, this exact remote control system. So as we go through them, controllability is gonna be the same. So I'll go through the controllability here, and this controllability will apply pretty much to the rest of our top 5 units except one. But essentially the way ProFlame 2 systems work is we can put it in on-off mode or thermostat mode. And wherever you put the thermostat or your remote is where it's gonna read the thermostat, turn the unit on and off. As far as flame height controls, let's go over here. That's on high, but we have 6 flame height settings. So we can toggle through there. Then we go over here, that's our blower settings. And again, we have 6 blower speed settings, 80 degrees in here. Can you tell I got a lot of fireplaces on? Night light, this unit does not have a night light, so that wouldn't apply to this model. So no night light here, that's one thing it's missing. And that's pretty much how you control it, pretty straightforward. And then what's super cool, one last little feature, is if we shut the fireplace off, and I press this down button, we're in intermittent pilot mode. So that means the pilot is off all the time. Now when I go over here, I turn that on. That's what's called CPI mode, or continuous pilot mode. So you can see it just turned on the pilot. So now we have a standing pilot. So which I always like to put it in standing pilot mode when you're using it very heavily in the wintertime, when it's on and off very frequently. Make sure you put your unit in standing pilot mode. So that's really cool to know that everything we're gonna show you has all this high functionality as far as the way to control the unit. So that's what I like about it. If you want that traditional firebox in a linear style, this is an awesome unit. Now, there are a few limitations that this thing has and why it didn't get bumped up further in my top 5. Biggest one I would say is gonna be that we don't have a 60-inch model. So 50-inch models used to be our best seller, but with TVs going up in size, wall sizes getting bigger, it's now the 60-inch. So the fact that this is as big as we can go sort of limits you. You pretty much have to be in the market for a 50-inch unit or smaller. And so that's one of the downsides. Other downside is, because it comes loaded up with features, this is what you get. So you have to like pretty much the way it sits. There's not really a lot of ways to trim it out. There's a couple surrounds, but essentially this is the unit. So not a lot you can do to customize it, which if you love the way it looks isn't a bad thing. Last thing I don't like about it is Regency has not come up with a cool wall kit system for this fireplace. We'll talk about that with some of our other models, but essentially the wall is gonna get pretty hot. And so we don't have the ability to mount a TV super close to this fireplace. If we were gonna do a TV, we'd want it up in here, so because the wall is just gonna get too hot. So it does have some limited install abilities if you want a TV above it. So that's the Regency U1500. What am I forgetting here? Anything?
Nope.
Nope, all right. Oh, it's hot. Should we move on to number 4?
Let's do it.
I forgot. What's number 4? Just kidding, I didn't forget. Let's go. Okay, this coming in at number 4, it's gonna be our Valor linear series. Number 4. Okay, so let's start with what we like about Valor. There's a lot we like about Valor, actually. Valor, you've probably seen, if you watch all you fireplace junkies out there, you know who you are. There's not fireplace junkies. There's just, you can only watch so many fireplace videos. But if you watch any of my other videos, you know that Valor is very flexible, I guess you could say, with install issues. And so Valor makes it very easy to install their units for a lot of reasons, which we'll talk about. But this is the 63-inch model, comes in a 50 and a 40, so it comes in 3 different sizes. So we have a full product range of sizes, which is really nice. But what's really cool about Valor is this is the 60-some inch unit, and our physical box is probably like right here and right here. So what's cool about that is even though we have a nice big viewing area, the physical box itself is not that large. So it can fit into nice tight spaces. So for framing clearances or construction issues where you don't have a big space, Valor sometimes is the way to go because it installs in very tight install applications while maximizing your viewing window. And then usually their vent runs, we can go straight horizontal, we can go up with them. So usually have the most amount of freedom, yeah, there we go. Most amount of freedom with installing it, most amount of flexibility, we could say. So that's what's really nice about Valor. What else is really cool about Valor is, they are hot. Like, that's why I'm kind of doing my little dance here, because this thing's so hot I can't stand still because it's burning my arm. Valors are great heaters, so that's really nice about them. And they're also known for not needing to use power. So you can put blowers on these. I don't think it's necessary. It's so hot just standing in front of it. And then like our unit here, we just have it running on batteries. It's not even plugged in. So this thing runs on batteries, no problem. The downside to that is they don't really offer any lighting or night lights, which, you know, for some customers is a big deal. Some customers don't care at all. So you don't get any lights. So that could be a make or break situation for you. But again, easy access for installation because we're not having to mess with power if you don't want to. Now, what else is super cool about it is you can see that we have a cool wall kit on it. And so here we have, again, more install flexibility with this plenum here. This would normally go up higher. I just have it low so customers can feel the heat coming out of here. But this is gonna allow our TV to get nice and tight to the fireplace if we want, while still maintaining that cool wall materials. Another awesome thing about Valor is this has been updated since I've done my video last, but a lot of interior combos. So we have the ledger stone with the white birch logs. There's 4 or 5 different vertical panels, which will give you some screen overlays of. There's 4 or 5 different log sets. Or you can go super contemporary with like crushed glass or river rock if you wanted something really contemporary. Also too, they sort of have more of like a pan style burner instead of a straight tube burner. So this burner actually has some depth to it. And so it's gonna make that burner feel a little more robust, I think. If I had a complaint, I'm not crazy about their fronts. This one doesn't look bad. And the reason it's sticking out is we have just concrete board and drywall here. But let's say you had a stone or a thick tile, that would butt up against this. So this wouldn't be sticking out like this in your house. Just a nice clean face front, but some of their other fronts I think look kind of chunky, aren't necessarily my favorite. If you were gonna install it, I just like the simple clean face front here, which I think looks pretty good. What don't we like about it, Tate?
Glass height.
Glass height, that's a good point. Although Danielle just sold a fireplace this morning because she liked how short the glass was. So again, there it goes back to what are your personal needs? Because some people think this looks a little squatty, but other people like the sort of squatty look because it makes it feel really contemporary, that long, elongated type look. I think we're only 13, 14 inches on glass height, so it's one of the shorter units out there. Outside of that, not much to dislike with this guy. It does have Wi-Fi module upgrade kit. I played around with the app a little bit. If you're really techie and you love the Wi-Fi or controllability on your phone, you can spring for it, but their app interface I didn't really care for, so it's just okay. But awesome, awesome unit. It made our top 5 because it's attractive, it performs well, and it's really easy to install. Should we move on to number 3?
Let's do number 3.
Coming in at number 3 is gonna be the Mendota Linear Series. So if you watch any of my other videos at all, you know I'm a huge Mendota fan. Obviously Mendota was gonna make our top 5. I think they make one of the best fireplaces known to man. Gas fireplaces, that is. Might be a bit of an overstatement, but one of my favorite products out on the market today, hands down. And but I'm gonna tell you why it's not number 1. I'm also gonna tell you why it deserves to be in our top 5. So let's start with ease of install. So much like Valor, the Mendota Linears are relatively small boxes with relatively good framing clearances. So that means they install, again, in tight spaces where we can maximize our viewing windows with these guys. So that's what's really nice about them. As far as sizes, it comes in a 39-inch, 47-inch. This is the 54-inch, 60-inch, and then the 72-inch. I'll tell you a few differences between the sizes. So the 54 and the 60 are new to the lineup, and that's what this is. This is the 54 on display here. But the 54 and 60 have a little bit taller glass, so like we were just talking about with the Valor is almost a little more squatty. This is intentionally tall to almost make it more like a hybrid unit. Again, to get us that nice big vertical height if you want more of like a statement piece. Mendota is actually known for that. It's a separate video, but check this out over here. So this is like one of their full V42. So again, nice rectangular feel. This kind of feels a little bit like that, but more in a true linear style, if that makes sense. What else is super cool about Mendota is they probably offer the most amount of fit and finish. So tons of frame options. We'll show you some overlays in the video of different colors. Here we have the wide Grace, which is just the name for their front. And it's just their widest frame, and it's in the brushed chrome. Comes in black. You can do simple clean face lines. What I showed you over there was more of the copper. I'll give you a couple zoom ups of our other units in person to see some of the other finishes. You can also get it in a super thin frame if you want just a nice, simple, clean face design. And again, on the inside, ton of interior options. We have the birch HD log set, so big, beefy logs. We'll give you a zoom in. This is one of my favorite log sets as well. And then we installed, just to do something different, the concrete gray flat panels. I personally did not think I was gonna like the flat panels because I just love the reflection that the porcelain gives you to make the fire enhance more. But how would you describe this matte panel, Tate? What do you think of it?
It seems luxurious. The way that the light bounces on it without a ton of reflection, it seems really nice.
Yeah, almost like when you put like a matte wrap on a vehicle instead of that gloss finish, it's more of a matte finish. I think it looks pretty slick. Now, as far as controllability goes, same ProFlame 2 remote system, but let me show you with the night lights. Blowers come pre-installed on this. So we can change our top light. Is that camera picking up that that's brighter?
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit. So there we are on full brightness. So let me turn it all the way off so you can see. There it is all the way off. You can't really see it with the bottom light. So essentially we have a top night light. And then what's really cool, this is a new upgrade for our Mendota, is the LED floor light. So we get a little remote control on a color wheel, and we can change those lights out. That's why we did crushed glass on the bottom, is so those lights are really enhanced and you can see them really well. I really like that feature. Again, you don't have to do it. I just personally like it. Tate kind of like the green. That's the way we started this video. I'm kind of digging it, like kind of a little more blue, huh? What do you think?
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah.
It's really blue in the video.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's leave it there. Also, Mendota came out with some cool new cool wall kits. So again, we have flexibility for TV installations, things like that. Now, if you watch any of my other videos, you know that Mendota are powerhouse heaters. What's really cool is they have several install options. So one, we could just do the plain fireplace all by itself, like we have it here. We can do a TV cool wall kit, which is gonna allow our TV to get within 15 inches of the fireplace. Or they have the VersaHeat kit. So that's gonna be a fan that can mount on an interior room or an exterior where we can send heat to another room, or we can turn that fan on and dump the 90% of our heat outside, which is really nice for warmer climates. So a ton of install flexibility, a lot to love. Now I know what you're thinking to yourself. You're saying, Trevor, you're giving this fireplace way too much love. Why is it number 3? It's a good question, great question. 2 reasons. Number 1, when they came out with their cool wall kit, even though the wall gets cooler to the touch, they did not publish lower mantle clearances. So if you want any sort of combustible mantle, even if you do a cool wall kit and the wall itself is actually cooler, from a liability standpoint, they would not lower that mantle clearance, which is super annoying because it makes the cool wall kit not as functional. It's great for a TV, but any sort of mantle or combustible material, it's a big annoyance for me. That's just me selling them every day. It may not apply to you, but dealing with customers every single day, I find it annoying. The other thing is they're expensive. They are super expensive. And sometimes I think they price themselves out of other models. You know, sometimes a 15, 20% price increase for a better product, maybe so, but sometimes, depending what we're pricing it up against, we're seeing stuff 30, 40% higher. And that's a lot. So if you got the dough, this is probably my favorite unit, but be ready to pay for it. And so that's why it didn't get ranked number 1. If it wasn't for those 2 reasons, I would probably say it's my number 1 fireplace. And of course, if you're in the Denver, Colorado area, you can come down and see this product in person for yourself. All right, let's move on to number 2. Okay, this is the Montego Distinction Series, which is coming in at number 2.
Number 2.
Number 2. I forgot what I was going to talk about. Okay, Distinction Series, Montego. One of our best-selling fireplaces, one of our most popular models. This particular one is the 63-inch version. Again, we have a lot of sizes, 36, 48, 63, and 72. So a ton of size options. What's cool when you go to the Distinction, we can go single-sided or see-through. So we have multiple install applications. Let's start with what I love about this fireplace. Well, like the other models, it is hot. My arm is just on fire. By the time I'm done with this video, my right arm is not gonna have any hair left on it. That's for sure. Controllability, same ProFlame control that we're using again, with all of our fireplaces. This one does not have a top night light though, right?
Nope.
No top night light. So we'll give you a close-up of this later, but it does have the multicolor ember beds, which we'll talk about in a minute. What's really cool about the Distinction series is it comes loaded up. There really isn't a lot to add on except your media. You're gonna get remote control, you're gonna get blowers pre-installed, you're gonna get the black ceramic glass, which I'm a big fan of in the background. I just think it adds a really nice sense of depth to this fireplace. And then the Distinction is very high BTU. So again, we have a really nice flame. I think this has one of the better, more visually appealing flames. Don't you think?
I agree.
Yeah, very attractive. Also, what's really cool about it is nice, clean lines. So if you're into like a super clean face design, I don't think any of the fireplaces in here have a cleaner fireplace surround or frame than this. Tate's shaking his head. He's like, I agree. Which way are you shaking? Like, no, no, there's none. So, Tate's a tough cameraman. He distracts me because he's being funny behind the camera always. I don't think there's a cleaner front looking than the Montego. So that's what makes it one of our best sellers. Also, little backstory on this. I know you guys love when I go on a little rant. I'll give you a couple overlays when we were doing the showroom. So, funny story, we had this showroom framed in, and my brother-in-law, who helped me sort of design this showroom, him and I were physically here, this is before our forklift got here, we were physically shoving these units in the wall. And when it came time to pick up the Distinction, just him and I are here. I like to think we're both pretty strong. But him and I were lifting this up, and she went down. We tipped her over. She went down for the count. The thing is so heavy that we got about right here, and we got stuck, and then we dropped it. So it's a very robust fireplace. Number two is it took a beating because we dropped it, and it's still in here. Looks great, right, Tate?
Sure does.
No dents or anything, so very sturdy fireplace. So not very scientific, but I can tell you just from manhandling it, it's a beast. It's a good fireplace. Let's talk about, last thing we want to talk about is our uplighting. So this has the driftwood with the river rock, which I think looks really cool. Give you a sneak peek at one of our other models. If you want to do something simple like this, you could just do plain crushed glass so those LEDs really shine through. Let me mess with the lights. Is it picking up the LEDs?
Yeah.
I think the LEDs look super cool sort of shining through the rocks. So there it's on more of like the purple or pink setting, which I think looks really nice. I just like the way those lights look shining through the river rock. It's kind of a unique, fun little thing. But again, your LED lights are gonna look more richer? No.
Nope.
Help me out. They're gonna look more full, more intense, more fulfilling, we could say, dare I say, with just the crushed glass. So if you're really into the LED lights, I would probably do a crushed glass floor bed. Okay, their cool wall kit, which they have, is one of my favorites because it's a very straightforward plenum system, looks a lot like the way the Valor looks here, and it allows a TV for, that's hot. This one does not have it, but it allows for TV installation really tight to the fireplace. So really easy to do a TV above this. If there's a couple things I don't like about it is, like I was saying when my brother-in-law and I were putting this in the wall, it's huge. So even though it's a 63-inch window, you need a lot of framing room, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but if you have a tight space, you're gonna find this unit a bit frustrating because it's gonna be hard to get your framing specs to match up with what you want. So you gotta make sure you have plenty of space for a guy like this. Outside of this thing does not have a lot of weaknesses. That's why it's our number 2. It almost actually made number 1. What am I missing, Tate? Anything on this guy?
I don't think so. I think you covered it.
Yeah, I think we got it. All right, now the moment you all been waiting for. Number 1 on our list. What's it gonna be? Michael Scott style. Number 1, the Napoleon Vector series. Let's talk about it. Okay, controllability. Again, ProFlame 2 remote system. It's gonna function like all the other units. One other thing though is we get top light and down lighting. So let me shut the flame off so I can show you this top light. Okay, so there I shut the lights off just so you can see. So again, we have top light, and then of course we have our multicolor LED light strip. With Napoleon, you could do a lot of things with it. We can do like crushed glass. We can do sort of a half and half, like we have here, a strip of LED lighting with sand and river rock with the birch logs, or we can go all sand. We can go crushed glass with logs. So what's really cool about Napoleon is they have probably the most amount of media options. We'll talk about this guy in a second, but we also have the wrought iron globes, which also can be installed. Okay, then what else is kind of unique to Napoleon is we sort of have this high-low flame. Now you can see this one's peeking out on us a little bit. I think it's because it's so hot outside. Sometimes the temperatures outside can affect your flame appearance slightly, depending on the day. But you can see they almost intentionally have a high-low flame. Let's show you in this one just so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Is we have those peaks and valleys. So it's not that one is better than the other, it's just the feedback we get, the general consensus is gonna be that high-low flame is really popular. And so essentially what it is, we have a 2 burner in there, and then where our flames are higher, there's extra holes drilled in our burner to give us that high-low flame. Now, the Vector also has a pretty unique cool wall system that's very functional, very easy, makes TV installations very simple. But what else is really cool is a lot like the Mendota series, we can buy extra fans if we want to dump heat outside. We can send heat to another room. So there's a lot of install flexibility. Again, like the Distinction, if I were to give this a knock, it would be that the framing clearances are huge. So this is a 50-inch model here. The framing clearances for this are very big. And it does come in similar sizes to the Distinction. I think we have a 38, 50, 62, and 74. Right?
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. I knew I had it right. Again, the nice Invisimesh screen. So I think their screen kit looks very good. If we had something bad to say, what would we say, Tate? What we got bad to say about Napoleon, our friends at Napoleon? They're gonna watch this video, so.
It's got an app.
It's got an app.
It needs some work.
That's true, that's an important feature, a Bluetooth app. I don't find it useful. In fact, I very rarely use it. I would say the coolest feature about it, the app, is to be able to control the Bluetooth lights. They have a cool color wheel on your phone. Outside of that, I don't care for the app. So Napoleon, work on that app. Get that app better. Get that user interface better. But that doesn't really have anything to do with the fireplace per se. So one of our favorite fireplaces. Now, if you're not in the mood for a safety screen, we'll show you this one. This didn't make our top 5 just because it's a little more niche and it's a lot more expensive. This is the Napoleon Luxuria series. I have a video that breaks down the difference between the Vector and Luxuria. So we'd put the Luxuria slash in the #1, but majority of people are buying the Vectors. Essentially, the Vector and Luxuria are the same exact machine. They just have a different front. So this has that triple glass pane, so we don't have a safety screen. And it's just gonna give us a cleaner look overall with their patented sort of cabinet hinge. You can see, makes it very easy to clean. But when this is fully installed, this glass is cool to the touch, and then we avoid a safety screen altogether. Super, super attractive, but very pricey. So from a practicality standpoint, it doesn't make the top 5, although it's even a step up from the Vector series. Am I missing anything with this guy?
I don't think so. My camera skills aren't the best, brother.
Yeah, you're not on your A game today, that's for sure. One unit I know you guys are gonna blow me up about that's notoriously missing from our top 5, let's mention this quick, is gonna be the Heatolator Crave, the Heat and Glow Cosmo, and the Majestic Echelon. I get those names right?
Yep.
So those did not make our top 5. By the way, little industry secret, Those 3 fireplaces are all the exact same fireplaces, just different branding and different name, come out at the same exact place, same machines. If I were to say the unit that they're closest to, visually they probably, as far as a flame appearance, have the same burner as this Distinction series, which is our number 2, but the Distinction just blows it away in every other category. The screen is better, the LED lights are a little bit nicer, the front is just a cleaner, ooh, that's hot. The front's just a cleaner front altogether. So because they're so similar to the Distinction, it got knocked out of our top 5, and the Distinction is just a better unit, period. Just my opinion. You don't have to take that to the bank. So if you're interested in one of those units, I would maybe look at the Distinction instead. It's a better unit. So there he goes. I'm getting out in front of these questions because they're coming. So that's why those 3 aren't in our top 5. But now you kind of know what to stack it up against. Okay, conclusion time, really quick summary, give you a couple bullet points on each unit. This video is getting long, let's go. So just as a reminder, coming in at number 5 was the Regency Ultimate Gas Fireplace. Reason we love it, traditional firebox in a linear fireplace, which is really cool. Reason we don't like it is as big as it comes is a 50-inch and doesn't have any cool wall capabilities. Now let's go over to number 4, is gonna be the Valor Linear Series. What do we love about it? We love how easy it is to install. It's one of the easiest fireplaces to install for tight spaces, very, very tight framing clearances, very attractive flame, a lot of interior options. So one of the things we didn't like is it doesn't have lighting, squatty window, which may be a good thing for you. And then also, I think it's a little pricey for the money. It's not crazy overpriced, but there's more affordable units out there. That's the Valor. Number 3 was the Mendota Linear Series. Man, this thing just looks good. Mendota is one of my favorite fireplaces. They make some of the coolest stuff around. I absolutely love everything about this fireplace. What I don't like about it is it's very expensive. It's probably one of our most expensive fireplaces, and we can't get combustible mantles tight to the fireplace, even with a cool wall kit. Find that kind of annoying. Number 2, this thing checks almost every box. In fact, this thing, I would say this and the Vector were almost neck and neck. It was like a 1A, 1B. These were very, very close. It is loaded with features. It's attractive, high BTU, built like a tank. It's just a big, awesome fireplace. What we didn't like about it is the framing clearances. Since it's such a big machine, you need a lot of space to install it. That's one of our annoying things about it. And number 1 is the Napoleon Vector series. Their cool wall system's just a little bit easier to install, get that nice high-low burner system in this fireplace. It's very, very well priced. It literally checks every box. And so for that reason, it's ranked number 1. You're also probably wondering, hey Trevor, why are the top 5 fireplaces conveniently all on display in your store? Duh, we designed it that way. If you come to our showroom, you're gonna see top 5 of every category. That's what's awesome about coming here, is if we start with our top 5 in each category, top 5 make it into the showroom, and then from there, if there's extra space, we'll add units. But you can guarantee in each category, you're gonna see our top 5 favorite units, no matter what it is you're shopping for, which I'm biased, but I think it makes for a very pleasant shopping experience in our showroom here in Colorado. Little plug to get you to come down here and see our products for yourself. If I haven't said that already, if you're in the Denver, Colorado area, come to our showroom today, check out all these products for yourself. Go to our website, embersliving.com. Call or text our staff. We're happy to educate you on any of these products, and hopefully, dare I be so bold as to say, we helped you in your consumer shopping experience to help you find the right product for you. Thanks so much for checking out our video. Forgot to mention to subscribe, helps out our channel a ton. You know the drill, hit that thumbs up button. You guys gotta stay tuned for more. Stay tuned for our top 5 traditional units. That's coming soon.
And what's our phone number?
Phone number, yes, 303-800-5659. 303-800-5659.